I'm trying to make sense of Utena in a in a way where I can actually process of like why did I really care much about this when I was a kid? Like this, it was kind of like up there with Sailor Moon with this show. But a lot of times I'm just like, what? Also, I got confused. Like, it's a show called Utena of Adolescence. I couldn't find out. Like, it's just is it called Utena the series or something? And how many like shows are hidden out there when it comes to Utena. I'm just gonna call the whole thing Utena, the show and the movie, and it was a good time. I remember like being fascinated by the look, the buildings and stuff like that, especially at the academy where Utena goes, and also the Yuri complex because that's one of the things that attracted to me when it comes down to this girl Magica. I didn't know it was a magical girl series. I mean, maybe there's some clues to it, but I thought the whole magical girl would be a one in just the typical usual fashion, like Precur and Sailor Moon. Didn't know this one was one of them. But I guess that really brought in like a little bit of diversity within this show of like what a magical girl series is. And speaking of diversity, one of the things that attracted to me as well within the Utena is the main character. Well, not the main character, but the character for the main character being Anthi. Like, is she Indian descent? Is she Bangladesh? Like I try to like I don't know if there's like hints and clues of like who really she is. Especially Anthi's brother. But are they Indian or not? Like there is this scene in the series where they went to India, and that's the only way that make, and especially how they eat curry in the school. So it's like, is it Indian or not? As I'm talking about like spicy curry or something. I get it. Japan has their own kind of curry, but there was this one character that went to India for the authentic curry. So it's like, is this like a relationship, a world where India and Japan made their own nation, or something? Not really, because you see the students and they're mostly all Japanese, but it just made me think of that in a way. Also, like the only thing that reason when I'm talking about Uthana is because of its aesthetics. The same thing with Oran High School, with Maru-sama, and also some of these other series that I grew up watching within the shoujo genre, or maybe in that genre in a sense, because Lucia Kogias was also like giving me that vibe as well when I remember seeing that. And I don't know what to call it, even though it has like kind of aesthetic nods to Victorian royalty or something like that, where everyone's so handsome and beautiful, and that's what really draw me when I was younger. I always was into that kind of aesthetic. It's just look at the webtoons that I read when it comes to fantasy. That's kind of like what mostly I'm into, and it really inspired me when it comes down to the fantasy genre of just having that world around you, even though it can be realistic, but a mixture of fantasy and just playfulness to this particular anime series. And that's one thing that is noted, that this is a very, I guess, a playful show or anime. I don't know if it's giving an artistic vibe from the creator. I don't know what is the understanding or the symbolism surrounding like this scene about elephants surfing and then they chase after the ones, like, I mean, I know why, because it's trying to be funny, but there are so many scenes where, like, what does the cars have to do? Like, what does this the scene within the fans of are like where they're like fanning themselves, or the shadow characters that are usually like in some of the scenes announcing like who is about to duel or something like that. And the duel scenes are dope. They look cool as well. But I never understand like most of what it's trying to actually share. Maybe it's not sharing. Maybe it's just being funny and quirky in a ways within that time. But so many random scenes that don't really make sense when you really analyze it, because I'm just going into this as a casual viewer and also as a dude as well, because I don't really see a lot of guys actually really talking about it in a ways. Maybe in their own taste, they have different tastes of what they see compared to a female, the way they see it. But for me, as a person, as a dude that's not straight, I kind of was really loving the how roses and gardens almost play a place within this world, this school, and and also the duel, how you attack the rose, and how is that supposed to resemble something, at least. One thing I try not to get into mostly or think about most of the times is the love triangle. As a person that likes romance, I can never really recommend this as anyone that likes romance because man, it is combobulated. It is all over the place. I don't know where to begin with the love circle or the love infinity that it shows because it's so hard to really connect all the dots all together. Like who's in love with who, and the age doesn't really help. I just don't understand how, especially when I saw the dub version, because listen, any anime I watch, it's gonna be dub. I don't care what no one says, dub, dub, dub everywhere. Okay, and this one, like the dub for these kids, you got there was what is it, a 13-year-old or something, or a 12-year-old kid that sounds like older than me. That sounds like a 20-year-old, smoking packs, and I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening here? It's so strange because I try to actually understand, I get they can't have a kid voice. They could have other voices when it comes down to kids being a female rusky voice, but they decided to choose a normal dude. This kid sound like a freaking 20-year-old. I don't understand why you couldn't choose any other voice for that role. I mean, freaking Luffy, One Piece, had a female voice for the whole entire series, the whole entire 1,000 episodes. I'm just saying, I'm just, really putting it out there. But I really like how the Utena to me sort of breaks, the barriers for when it comes down to, at least that's how I seen Utena when it comes to female empowerment in a ways of just who she is, and she's strong. She's a tomboy, and because of her clothing, which in my head, I'm like, well, to me, she doesn't seem like a tomboy. The teacher talking about why you dress like a boy. Are you kidding me? As a person that lives in the hood that actually seen, many girls just wearing jeans and a shirt, and that's normal. And pretty much most of them go for the full mile, wear a jersey, and they rock a short hair, more shorter than Oran High School, Haruhi. And it's like, this is unusual, normal thing out there, but hey, this is Japan. This is royalty Japan. I don't know what kind of Japan it is. It's a freaking mind set of cars, action, royalty, fantasy Japan right now. But yeah, what is that supposed, come on. The short shorts, she still has her long hair. She just looks like an admiral, a female admiral. I don't understand. I don't. I'll talk. Oh, there goes the cough. I was trying to do this whole review without me coughing. I lost. This is the thing I have to deal with when it comes to making most videos or most reviews. But I guess that's it. That's all I have to say. I really like, Utena. It's just the environment. This is the thing. It's like going to a city that I haven't been to in a while. Utena is that city. Yet there's so many aspects within that city that just doesn't make sense, that I don't feel like I want to go to, that I don't want to go here and there. But overall, I do remember this particular city, and it's why I come back. And that's what one thing about Utena is, that it was during a time when, I was in the Philippines, and I was living there in Animax. It was always hot, of course, and it was during a bright day. Watching this on Animax. If you don't know what Animax is, it's like Toonami, but for people that are not from America. And it's one of those that I enjoyed so much, and reason why I do love that kind of style of anime that I grew up watching. Same thing with Oran High School, Code Geass, and many of these classics. So other than that, yeah, I still enjoy it. Does it make sense? Hell no, it don't. But other than that, I do love just coming back to these older animes and understanding them as an adult. Other than that, I'll see you when I see you. That is my review for Utena. One love and peace.